Big up, people. Welcome back to the show. Hope you're all well. I hope you got over last night's disappointment if you're an Arsenal fan. And not just an Arsenal fan, let's be honest. There was a lot of teams that went out last night. Manchester United obviously play Aston Villa tonight to see if they can get through, but there's been some shocks. Chelsea have gone out. Not that that's really a shock. I expected Man City to beat them, but I did not expect Tottenham to lose to Forest. Didn't expect West Ham to go out on penalties to Blackburn. Liverpool scraped through against Derby, and Arsenal obviously went out to Brighton, which was a massive disappointment for all Gooners. That competition looks like it's Man City's, to be honest with you. I can't sit there now and lie to you and think that any other team is going to shock to win that competition. A lot of Arsenal fans are happy that we're out. A lot of Arsenal fans saying that it's not that bad news because we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, let's hope that we do fry them fish, because if we don't, it looks rather silly going out in the first round. But there we go. That's another story. It's not Arsenal today. It's actually England. We're going to be talking about the England squad announcement, which I believe is around about 2:00. Gareth Southgate has made quite a few noises about some of the players that are potentially going to miss out, and also some of the players that are going to get selected. I think it's going to be interesting to see the ones that he does go with. I've got a really nasty feeling this is not going to be a very good squad, guys. I really do. I don't look at this right now and think I'm excited by what I'm going to see. I certainly believe the players at the back are going to be very disappointing. I don't think any of them have been on form, the ones that I believe he's going to be picking. And certainly over the last year in an England shirt, I wouldn't have thought they deserve a place in that squad. But things could change. You never quite know what's going to happen until it's in black and white. And the yellow bar across Sky Sports News will explain that soon. I want to take a few of your comments because it's quite interesting already. Let me know in the team who you think, in the comments, should I say, who you believe should make the England side and who you believe should not. It'll be interesting to see, won't it, who he's going to go with. I think some of the positions are obvious. I think some of the positions maybe not so obvious. And I've put together the team that I would pick in terms of an 11, and we'll talk a little bit more about the squad in the next few minutes. I do want to bring up this one first from Pads, though, because this one was the first one that come up. Mr. Pads says that, big up, Dan, did you see the report saying that Tony, Maddison, Tomori and Abraham won't be selected, but Rashford, Wilson and White will be? Now, let me just take that comment for a second, because for me, I'm going to come on to Marcus Rashford separately, but Ben White deserves to be in this side. I don't care what anybody tells me. This guy deserves to be in the side. He's been fantastic for Arsenal. He's been consistent. He covers a multiple positions. And I think when you look at what he does as an all-round defender at the moment, he's proved this season that he's better in the air than he's ever been. He's definitely comfortable on the ball and can play out. His distribution's good. His tackling's good. He hasn't really lost any duels this season. I don't really know a duel that he's lost. I said it last night, I think, that someone put a question in about if Martinelli and Ben White were to go up against each other, who would win? And I picked Ben White because I just feel that there's no evidence so far that any winger has given him any problems. So be it 13 games have only gone, but he's gone up against some big teams and the likes of Zaha, etc. And he's not really had any big issues, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see whether Ben White makes the England squad. I believe he will. And I've heard the same rumours that he is going to be there, but we shall see what happens. As for Callum Wilson, I think he does deserve to go. If fit, he deserves to go. I think other than Harry Kane, he's the informed centre forward at the moment. And I know it's a little bit harsh on Tammy Abraham. I like him. I think he's a different profiled striker, and I think he's done well over in Roma. And I would have signed him when he was at Chelsea as an Arsenal fan, but I don't think he's been better than Wilson. And I think Ivan Toney has definitely, in my opinion, deserved a shout this season. He's been up there with one of the top goal scorers in England, and I think it would be very harsh if he doesn't make it. I would pick Tony over Rashford. I think although Rashford can play in a couple of positions, I don't get it. I just don't. I really don't get it. I know that he's pacey. I know he can score, but he misses a hell of a lot of chances. And I don't know, is it 14 goals he's got one season at Man United? Everything else has been 10 or under. Nah, it just ain't for me. I think he's been one of the most overhyped players in the Premier League history that as far as England are concerned. I don't get it. I don't understand this Marcus Rashford hype. I don't get it. Sancho, totally understand why he's not going to get in it. Don't think he deserves to be there. Tomori, extremely harsh if he doesn't get in it. But we will come on to that because I've got a huge segment I want to talk about in terms of England's defence, because there are some shocking rumours about the players that are going to get a yes and the players that are going to get a no. But the one I do look at there that stands out like a sore thumb is James Maddison. Now, if James Maddison does not go to this England side World Cup, I do not understand how Gareth Southgate can keep his job. This guy has been the best attacking midfielder in the Premier League other than Kevin De Bruyne. There's nobody else that gets near it, in my opinion. He's been scoring goals. He's been assisting goals. He's been the absolute pivotal in everything that Leicester have done good this season, which, let's be honest, has only been of recent weeks. But every single performance when they were losing, he was the best player. Out of the 22 players on every single pitch of Leicester's games, he's been one of the ones that has shone. Whether they've won the game, drew the game, or lost the game, James Maddison has always looks like he's had at least a 7 or 8 out of 10 in most games. And there has been times where he's been a 9 out of 10. He's been absolutely fantastic. If you want someone on set pieces, if you want someone who shoots from outside the box, if you want someone who can pass, if you want someone who can create, if you want someone who can drive forward with the ball, there is everything I like about a footballer in this guy. I think James Maddison would have been an unbelievable signing for Arsenal, and one that everybody laughed at me when I said I'd rather have him than Erdegaard and Vieira. Everybody said, you're a joke. Absolutely disgraceful. Toxic. Get out of the club. I really like Martin Erdegaard, and it's too early to decide whether I like Fabio Vieira. But James Maddison, I can tell you, is absolutely levels ahead of the pair of those. And the stats prove it. 18 goals, 12 assists last season. And he's already looking to get towards those figures again in terms of what he's got in 13 games, goals and assists wise. This guy's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I don't think I would have Mount or Grealish over James Maddison in my England side or in my club side. I think James Maddison is better than Grealish and Mount. I think he's absolutely wonderful to watch. And I'm amazed no one snapped him up yet, but it looks like his days at Leicester are probably going to be not long past this season, if I'm honest with you. Newcastle interested. I'd love to see Arsenal interested. I know, unfortunately, Spurs, United and Chelsea are all sniffing around him. Won't be surprising if he goes to one of those clubs and doesn't stay at Leicester. I think he's been superb. But if Southgate doesn't pick James Maddison, I will be so disappointed. And from what I'm hearing, like you, Mr. Pads, the reports are suggesting that he isn't in it. We're going to find out very, very soon. I want to come on to the centre halves, though, because for me, I think some of the positions are obvious. Let's talk about the goalkeepers first, because we're only going to be a couple of seconds on it. There's 3 goalkeepers that deserve to go: Aaron Ramsdale, Nick Pope, and Jordan Pickford. Aaron Ramsdale has been consistent for Arsenal for the last season and a half. I think when you look at what Nick Pope's done in a Premier League longevity style for Burnley and now for Newcastle, he's going to be in there. And I think with what Jordan Pickford has done in an England shirt, Gareth Southgate trusts him. I don't expect to see anybody else other than those 3 goalkeepers, and I think most people would agree with that. Coming on to the back line, let's start with a centre-back, shall we? Because for me, I don't know how anyone can look anywhere near players like Harry Maguire or Tyrone Mings or even Eric Dyer. We have got to be doing better than that. Connor Cody and James Tarkowski have been good for Everton, but I don't know if they really deserve to be in the England squad ahead of some of the others, if I'm honest with you. But all those names I expect to be at least considered by Gareth Southgate, and some of them will definitely be getting in it. John Stones is a definite. I think he's 100% there, and deservedly so. He's been fantastic for Man City and for Everton, to be fair, over the years. And when he has played for England, I think he's been solid. So John Stones, for me, 100% gets in. Ben White, we've spoken about. He has to get in. Now, whether he's played as a right back or playing as a right centre-back or a right centre-back in a free, he has to be in there. Those 2 have to play. Ben White and John Stones would probably be the 2 that I'd go for. But when I look at it, I don't know that we can be confident to say that there's other players that are not going to be going. Now, I'm hearing that Joe Gomez and Tomori are both going to miss out. I understand Joe Gomez because he's not been consistently playing for Liverpool and he's had injury problems. And also, to be fair, he hasn't really looked that great when he has played for Liverpool, in my opinion. Kenyatte and Van Dijk are the 2 that I'd go with at Liverpool. Joe Gomez wouldn't get in. So when I look at it, I understand why Joe Gomez might miss out. Tomori, however, for Chelsea and for AC Milan now, has won Serie A. I think he deserves to be going. I'm sorry, he deserves to be going. The other player I think deserves to be going over the last 2 years who's been really good is Mark Guehi from Crystal Palace. He's been fantastic. Dan Burn has been superb. Mr. Pads has said it in the chat. Yeah, he's been brilliant for Brighton and for Newcastle. And he's been playing at left back and can play at left centre back or centre back. That's a player that I'd be taking. I don't see it happening. When I look at the situation right now, there are centre halves that I know we're going to be looking at when this squad comes out, and we're going to be going, really? Maguire, Dyer, Mings, Cody? I don't know that we're going to be too happy with that. Like, I can think of 4 players probably that I'd have over them. I've mentioned Tomori, I've mentioned Mark Guehi. Mate, I'd take Lewis Dunk over some of those. Do you know what I mean? I'd take James Tarkowski over some of those. So I think we're really poor at our defence. And I know for a fact what he's going to do is go 3 at the back, with Kyle Walker being one of them. And it's going to be Maguire and Stones as the other. Now, in the team that I'm going to put up, it's nothing to do with what Southgate's going to do. Let me tell you that now. This team that I'm about to put up in my England 11 is going to be nothing like Gareth Southgate's. But I want you to be honest with me in the chat and tell me what you'd rather have. Would you rather have my 11 or Gareth Southgate's 3 at the back 11? We'll come into that in a minute. At fullback, it's going to be interesting as well because does he take 3 right backs? Does he take Walker? Does he take Trippier? And does he take Trent Alexander-Arnold? Obviously, Reece James is out and Ben White's an option there. It looks like right back, we've definitely got cover. I think all 3 of them will go, if I'm honest with you. And at left back, there's suggestions as to what he does. Now, Dan Burn's been mentioned already and he's been playing as a left back. But the other player that I think has been fantastic for Crystal Palace is Tyreek Mitchell. I think, he's been consistently good. I think he's great going forward. I think he can defend. I think he can create play. I think he can be comfortable on the ball. His passing's good. And I think he's really fit. So I go with him. I would go with him in my first 11. I think as a left back, Tyreek Mitchell, I think has done enough to prove that he can play there. Never been given a chance with Gareth Southgate. He's never looked at him and gone, do you know what? I want to give this guy a go. Now, what will probably happen is he'll probably play one of the right backs over at left back. That's all probably what will happen. He'll probably go with Alexander-Arnold at right back and Trippier at left back or something like that. Or he'll go with Trippier at right back or Shaw at left back. Now, I think the ones that will go will be Luke Shaw, and I think he'll pick 3 right backs. I don't think Mitchell or Dan Burn will go. And I think that's a shame because I think they've both been consistently good and I think they deserve a shout. But I really don't think that's going to happen. So that's what's going to happen at the back. In midfield, it starts to get a little bit more easier. It does. It starts to get a little bit easier. James Ward-Prowse, we're hearing he's not going to make it. And to be fair, as much as I like him, great with set pieces, unbelievable right foot, and really underrated player, I don't think he's been doing that great at Southampton. And after speaking to the Southampton players and fans that I know, they've all been saying that it's not been his best start to the season. Although he's not been shocking, he hasn't been fantastic. So for me, it has to be looked at that he's going to be given probably the boot and not quite make it and be axed from the squad. I think it's clear to see that Rice and Bellingham are probably going to be the partnership and the 2 that should go. And then it's all about what happens in defensive mid with Calvin Phillips. He's hardly kicked a ball for Manchester City. So it might be a bit harsh on some of the others, i.e. Ward-Prowse, if he does go. But I think he really liked him in the World Cup and the Euros, So I think it's going to be an interesting call by Gareth Southgate. But I do expect to see Calvin Phillips in there. Will Jordan Henderson make the cut? I'm not so sure he's been fantastic for Liverpool, but like Southgate says, he always goes for influencers, leaderships, captains of the club. That's why he's gone for players like Maguire, like Mings, like Jordan Henderson in the past, because he's looked at that and thought they're captains for their club. And that's what I want in and around the place. That's why Cody's always had a chance of getting in, as well as Mings, in my opinion. So I do believe that Rice, Bellingham and Phillips will probably go, and it's a matter of who goes with them in the attacking options. And I think it's going to be Mason Mount. I don't see a place for James Maddison for the pure fact that he does not go for those types. He doesn't like Maddison for whatever reason. He's never picked him before. He's never proved to me that he's going to pick him before. And I think he's going to let everybody down this season as well and not go for him. And I think that is an absolute criminal decision from Gareth Southgate. I really do think that's shocking. And then the rest of it picks itself, particularly in the wide areas. There's 4: Saka, Sterling, Foden, and Jack Grealish. And I don't expect those 4 not to make it, if I'm honest with you. I don't expect anybody else to come in and make a claim to come into those slots. I don't think Sancho or Harvey Barnes, Emil Smith-Rowe's injured. I don't expect any of that to be happening. So for me, those are the 4 that will go with. And then it's about what strikers he takes. Now, Harry Kane's a definite. He's going. It's who goes with him. Tammy Abraham, Ivan Toney, Callum Wilson, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who I believe is injured now. I think we need to look at it in serious terms and say that the ones that deserve to go are Ivan Toney and Callum Wilson alongside Harry Kane. I think it's harsh on Tammy Abraham maybe, but I think that personally the other 2 have just been better than him. And it doesn't mean that he's never going to get in the side again. For Roma, he's been brilliant. I really liked him. I would have had him at Arsenal. But for me, I think that the other 2 have just been proven better. So I think that will be what we see roughly with the England side. And then it's about what we do with that. Where do we go with that side and what does he do? Now, let me tell you what I think the side will be when Southgate picks these players. I think the goalkeeper will be Jordan Pickford. I don't think he's had enough trust in Ramsdale or Pope yet. And I think that with Pickford, who hasn't really let him down in the competitions, that means a lot to Gareth Southgate. I think he's going to go with a back 3. And I think Kyle Walker will partner Maguire and Stones. Now, this is if Walker's fit, by the way, because I know he's had a few injury problems, but I believe he will be. Those 3 will probably be the centre-halves. Then what I think will happen is I think he's probably going to go with Kieran Trippier at right wing back and Luke Shaw at left wing back. I don't see Trent Alexander-Arnold getting into this side. He's never trusted him before. He's never liked him. And when he got the injury, I don't think Gareth Southgate cared in the Euros. He was going to go with Trippier. He was going to go with Walker. He was going to go with Reece James. Now, Reece James actually would be my starter. He would be. I think Kieran Trippier has been fantastic over the years, and for Newcastle, for Tottenham, for Atletico Madrid, of course, for Burnley. But I look at it and think that, yeah, I think probably he will go with Reece James if he was fit. Now that he's not, Kieran Trippier comes in there. So I believe that will probably be the back five and the goalkeeper. I think Rice and Bellingham are definitely going to play, if I'm honest with you. And then it's about what he does with his front three. And I think that front three will definitely be Harry Kane up top. And I think the two either side will probably be Sterling and Foden. I don't think Saka and Grealish have been starters for Southgate of late, and I don't expect that to change. Now, Mason Mount, what happens to him? A lot of people will say, I think if he goes with that formation, he won't play Mason Mount. That's for me. I don't think he will. And I don't think Mason Mount's been on good enough form. Like, I really don't. I really don't at all. I don't see what Mason Mount has done to believe that. So I'm just getting rid of somebody in the chat. I don't believe there's any reason as to why he deserves to start in this England side. I really don't. So I've gone by who I think deserves to be playing, and it ain't going to be the players that play. And Gareth Southgate's going to honestly go with nothing like I believe should be the case. Now, who I feel gutted about, James Maddison is the first one, 100%. I feel really, really bad that he's going to miss out because I don't understand what more this guy needs to do. He's scoring goals, he's assisting goals, he's been consistent. What more does he have to do? There must be something that Gareth Southgate doesn't like about him personally. I don't have a clue what else it is. I really don't. It makes no sense to me that this guy has not been given the chance to actually showcase what he can do in an England shirt. He's been fantastic for me. So it's a real shame for him. I think Ivan Toney will be disappointed if he doesn't go because Ivan Toney's had a good season with Brentford and he's showed that he can score all types of goals. I think he's an all-round striker. I think he can hold the ball up. I think he can link up play. Definitely knows where the goal is. And if we get a penalty, it's in. So for me, he would definitely be one that I'm going with. But from what we hear, he's going to miss out. Marcus Rashford is probably going to be the player that takes him up. And I can see a lot of people in the chat saying, you've got to take him. He's absolutely brilliant. He's pacey. He can play on the left. Yeah, but he ain't actually that good, in my opinion. He isn't actually that great. I don't look at Rashford and go, cool. I'll tell you what, he is absolute nailed-on starter. No, I don't. And he always scores against Arsenal because most of the time we're naive enough to allow him in behind our back line. But actually, when you look at the goals he scores, is that great? Do you look at Rashford and think, oh, he's guaranteed 20 goals a season? Nah. I think did he get 8 last season? Saka got more than that. I think, like, if we're honest about it, Granit Xhaka's probably going to get 8 goals this season. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm harsh. He's a good player. I just see him as a Theo Walcott or a Gabriel Bonlahor. I don't see him as a Thierry Henry like some people do. 150 million he was worth 2 seasons ago, Marcus Rashford. And Mbappe was worth 160. Who would you rather have? I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand that at all. I want you to do us a favour. I'm going to put up my 11 and I'd like you to show your 11 in the chat. And we're going to go through some of them and look at who we think should be playing and what Gareth Southgate's going to pick. I'm going to go with Robocop start with. It says my 11 would be Ramsdale in goal, Kyle Walker right back, Tamori and Stones at centre back, Mitchell at left back, Rice and Bellingham, Maddison, Saka, Kane and Sterling. That is a really good side. And it's very similar, Robocop, to the one that I'm going to show you now. This is my 11. This is what I would do. And can I make it clear, this is not going to happen because we've already gone through what I think Gareth Southgate will do, and it ain't going to be this. This is honestly what I would do with this England side. Ramsdale will be my goalkeeper. Now, I know Pickford's been great for England, but for me, Ramsdale is a much better goalkeeper. All round, I don't think there's much that Ramsdale can't do. He's going to make mistakes. He's already made mistakes in the last couple of seasons and certainly made them before he joined Arsenal. But Pickford also has made some clangers. And I honestly believe Ramsdale's a better goalkeeper. So he, for me, is getting that shirt number. At right back, I've gone with Kieran Trippier because, like I said, Reece James, just for me, at the moment, hasn't been, it isn't going to be going. And Kyle Walker is coming back from injury. And I just feel that Trippier's been on form. And I think I've got to go with the players I believe are in form. For me, Ben White, like, I don't really understand how you can't play Ben White. I think Ben White's been fantastic. And I know he's been playing at right back. I get it. But for me, Kieran Trippier gets ahead of White still. And I think Ben White is definitely one of the best centre halves that England have got, or defender, I should say, that England have got this season. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And I had my doubts. The jury was out for me with Ben White last season. I thought he looked all right, but I think he made some mistakes. But when I look at it, um, I believe he deserves his place. The other player I think deserves his place is John Stones. He's the only one I can sit there and wholeheartedly say that has been a good centre half and deserves a first team start for England. We've mentioned the players that are going to miss out that I think should be getting in, but yeah, that's the way it is. This guy is not going to go at left back. It's going to be Luke Shaw, but I would play Tariq Mitchell. I think Tariq Mitchell has been a fantastic addition to Palace, and he definitely deserves to go. He's not going to go, guys. He's not going to play, but he would for me. And this is my 11, not Gareth Southgate's. Rice and Bellingham, I think, is fine. I wouldn't go with Calvin Phillips. He's hardly kicked a ball. And I think with James Ward-Prowse, for me, it's just not going to happen. So Bellingham for me has been fantastic for Dortmund, and at his age, wow, there's going to be a lot of players after him. A lot of teams after him. Trust me. Declan Rice has been phenomenal for the last couple of years, and certainly in an England shirt, he's been brilliant. I thought he was superb at the Euros, and he came back from the Euros in West Ham season last season, absolutely superb. And then, of course, I would go with James Maddison in the number 10, but we all believe he's not going to go. But this is my team, not Gareth Southgate's. James Maddison has to play. He has to play. He's better than Grealish. He's better than Mount. He has to play in that number 10 for me. And I think he would create fantastically. Foden and Saka, I think, are two of the best young England talents, and both of them start, for me, ahead of Sterling and Grealish. I know Sterling's been great in an England shirt, and he was player of the tournament last season pretty much, but he's not been good for Chelsea, in my opinion. He's been okay, not good. Foden and Saka have both been good for City and Arsenal. So we have to look at those this season and say that they're the two on-form wingers, should I say. I'll get it right in a minute, and they have to go. And then, of course, Harry Kane's up top. For me, it has to be, he's horrible to say, but he is fantastic. And he's the best chance we have of scoring great goals from the penalty spot, in the air, and obviously with his feet. I think he's a brilliant all-round number 9, and I think we're lucky to have him in this tournament still, and I hate saying that. But there we go. That's what I would go with. Now, out of that, I really don't see many of those happening. I don't see the goalkeeper getting picked. I think it will be Pickford. I don't think that Ben White will play. I don't think that Mitchell will get selected. But I expect Stones and Trippier to be in that back line. I expect Rice, Bellingham to be there. I expect Foden and Kane to be there. But the ones that I don't think will make it in the first 11 for England are Ramsdale, White, Mitchell, Maddison, and Saka. I think they're the ones that are not going to make it. I think they'll be replaced with Pickford in goal. I think Kyle Walker will come into a back three. I think that it will be Shaw at left back. I think that it will be Sterling instead of Saka. And I don't think Maddison will get picked to go at all. So that's what I think will happen. But that is the one that I actually look at in the team that I'd like to see. But it's going to be interesting. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Let me know who you would go for. And we will take a look at some of your options. So like I said, Ramsdale, Walker, Stones, Tomori, Mitchell, Rice, Bellingham, Foden, Grealish, and Ivan Toney up top. England defensively are absolutely horrendous, Dan. So I don't even know who to choose, but that's me. That's a really good side, and I like that. And I like the fact that Toney's up there. It's very different to what Harry Kane, a lot of people would go with. And I also like the fact that Mitchell and Tomori are in there. I like the fact that we're looking at this sensibly. We're looking at this as who's been on form, who deserves to go. Does Luke Shaw and Maguire deserve to go because they were good back in the Euros? Or actually, if they've been shocking since? That's the way I see it. Terry McDadis says, Potts in, Southgate out. I appreciate that, my guy, and I'd love to manage England, but it just isn't going to happen, trust me. Sondre says, Saka will 100% go and start. I really hope that he does start because I'm a massive fan of him. I really am. Clucking says, no, Sterling makes sense, but he's also said Ben White in an England shirt. You don't like Ben White, do you, Clucking Bell? You're really not a fan, man. And I don't think you can say that he's not been good this season. I really don't. Lucas says that's a great team, Dan. I agree. Ali Aya says Ramsdale, Trippier, White, Stones, Mitchell, Rice, Bellingham, Maddison, Saka, Kane, and Sterling. Listen, it's really interesting to see that Mitchell is getting the left-back position for most people. I believe that is correct, but I cannot see him going. I don't believe it's going to be there. Daniel Bailey TV, I hope you're well, Daniel. Make sure you go and subscribe to Daniel Bailey TV. It says, hey, Dan, I hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well too, man. I hope you're looking forward to this England squad announcement and you can discuss it with us as well. Chags also said, who do you think will win the World Cup, Dan Potts? Argentina. Argentina I'm going with. I think is it 36 games unbeaten now? They're my tip. Argentina or Brazil. I can't look past those two. France have got a chance, but I just feel there's a little bit of inconsistency with Deschamps. I don't think England have got a chance. Belgium always have individual quality, but never quite get there. And other than that, it could be a shock, but I really don't see it. I think Argentina and Brazil are the two that I'd go with, and France perhaps. But I would go with Argentina. And do you know what? If England don't win it, I want Argentina to win it for one reason. Messi, one of my favourite players ever, the best player ever, in my opinion. And everybody says, it's Ronaldo, it's Ronaldo, it's Ronaldo. It's not Ronaldo, in my opinion. Messi, I thought was outstanding. And I still think is. I think when you look at Ronaldo, he's proven that he can do it all over the world and all in different leagues. And by far, one of the best I've ever seen. Unbelievable. And when people have that debate, Ronaldo and Messi, it's like you're disrespecting one or the other. And you can't do that. They're probably the two best, along with Pele and Maradona ever. So I look at that and think, yeah, you can't slate one or the other. But I would love to see Messi do it because I feel like everyone says he ain't won the World Cup. He ain't done it with Argentina. When he does it, he will be probably known as the GOAT. So that for me is why. I wouldn't go Portugal. I wouldn't go Spain or Germany. I don't think they've done enough. I don't think Holland have. So yeah, I'm going to go with Argentina, I think. That's what I would do. That's what I'd go with personally. But there's a lot that people are saying that they really agree or disagree with the Argentina-Brazil side of things. Brazil have got an unbelievable side, by the way, and a very experienced side. But Argentina are now finally better defensively, and I think over the years that's let them down. They've always had the Messis, Agueros, Higuains of this time, the Di Marias. But I look now and I think that they're defensively a lot more solid. Spurs, they've got Romero, they've got Romero from Spurs, sorry, they've got Alessandro Martinez from Manchester United, who's Argentinian. They've got a lot more of a solid base now, and in midfield likewise. So I feel like they've always been very top heavy. So let's see what happens. Guys, that's my thoughts. We're going to find out very shortly, aren't we, what's happening with the world of England? Is it going to be a stage? Is there going to be a stage where England are we're all disappointed about England? Are we going to be happy with Southgate's selections? We'll find out soon. I've given my thoughts. You've given your thoughts in the chat. It's been absolute pleasure as always, guys. Please do me a favor. I want you to do me three things. I want you to smash the like button on this, please. Please, please, please. It's massively, massively important to me and means the absolute world. Subscribe to the channel. We're coming on our way to 7K now. We're past 6K. You guys are mad. Absolutely love the fact that you're subscribing to the channel and you keep coming back. I keep seeing regulars in the chat and it's fantastic to see. They're the two things I need you to do. It's absolutely free. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And then the other thing I want you to do is join me tonight at 7 p.m. At 7 p.m. tonight, we're going to be off in time for the Aston Villa Man United game. And we're going to be talking about Premier League fans debate. And Dan Lawless is making his appearance with the other guys. And they're all going to be ripping into him, trust me, because they believe they should be on his show and they have no place on the Race for Europe show on this channel. So make sure you are staying tuned for that tonight at 7 p.m. A lot of people are going to be having their opinions about some questions we have in relation to the Premier League fans debate. And we're going to, of course, be discussing the England squad announcement. So that'll be a really good show tonight at 7 p.m. Make sure you are there. Make sure you've subscribed and notification is on so you don't miss that show tonight at 7 p.m. Like on your way out, people. And we will see you next time. Take care, guys.